Good morning and welcome to the 50-cent tour of Tuesday, March 5th, 2013. I hope you are well and enthusiastic about life and the potential for good things in the future. We will try not to discourage you too much today in what we look at. There's a mixture of positive news and challenging news. Please find a seat on the Liberty Bus and we will commence our tour. The last time the Dow was here. Now, if you are holding long positions in the stock market, you might be pretty enthusiastic today. If you've been holding them for a while, this is not an ideal situation. We can read here how our economy is different the last time the stock market was substantially up. These statistics show some of the issues that we're struggling with, and this is not terribly positive news, and it shows that this is a kind of a thin uptrend. I mean, it's real, but not under the surface. The average volume per day at that time was 1.3 billion shares, now 45 million shares. So volume is much lower, and that's kind of a technical indicator that this is really, it's, as I said, on the surface it looks good. Ostensibly it's positive, but there are a lot of problems below the surface. Gold and the next great monetary easing. I'm not a huge fan of gold. I think it's, you have to hold some kind of commodities. It's just probably long term it's a good idea, but using gold to back a currency, you run into issues such as hoarding. The guys who have had the money for a long time tend to have a lot of gold. So any one commodity upon which an economy is based almost invites manipulation, because there's a limited amount. It can be hoarded. So pray, seek the Lord. I don't know anybody who has tremendous investment advice right now, because we don't really know precisely what is going to happen. I guess you could invest in weapons and ammo. That might be almost the same as investing in the future. We the people armed are too big to fail. With guns in our hands, we the people are a threat, too big to fail against any enemy, foreign or domestic. And that threat is what will keep the peace. I have mentioned before that if you count all the hunters in the U.S., all those who are familiar with firearms and comfortable with firearms, it would be the number of people who are in that category would together represent the largest army in the world. So this is something that I really hope that we insist on, that we do not surrender our firearms. And sheriffs vow to defend Second Amendment from federal government. I know there have been more and more county sheriffs stepping up and saying that they are not going to enforce any anti-gun laws or allow them to be enforced by the feds. So these local guys are great in many states in protecting their people from the feds. Tennessee State Militia Guard has stopped DHS armored vehicles from Kentucky. Russians with DHS Eagle uniforms. I am not 100% saying that I believe this. I felt like it was important to include it. Sometimes it's really difficult to know what is true and what is disinfo that's intended to cause us fear. I lean toward believing this is disinfo, but I didn't feel that it would be right to leave it out. Russia is preparing to attack America. According to Kay Griggs, whose videos I put up in the tour yesterday, there has never been a real conflict at the highest levels between Russia and the U.S. As I said, so much disinfo, and there are so many layers of stories, so many layers of, on this level it's one thing, on this level it's another thing, on this level it's yet another thing. Very difficult sometimes to keep track of what's going on. Ultimately, I believe that trusting in God and depending on Him to warn us, to direct us, is really the safest way to live life. And have some great friends and people who love you around you too. 3 informative YouTubes. United States is the Virginia company owned by the Crown. Why does the U.S. act like a corporation? This one is leaked document military internment camps in U.S. to be used for political dissidents. This one, The Road to World War III, short video explains the reason for war, the attempt to stop other currency, the need for war, the dinar as the new currency as they are trying to stop. I have not watched these yet, but these ideas seem sound to me, and this one, I'm very aware of this, and more people really, it would be helpful if more people knew these things. We could help wake people up and break the matrix. Secretive copyright negotiations continue at the 16th round of TPP talks. TPP is the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement. This is just, I put this in because it's yet another threat to internet privacy and internet freedom. And I'm really hoping that some hackers figure out a way to make the internet free. You know, there's this free energy that's been constrained. There are ways to give everybody very free and open access to the internet. And I'm actually going to be mentioning a water system that also lets people be completely off the grid. But I'm mentioning it in the context of these sinkholes, bayou, corn, homes cracking from earthquakes. Governor Jindal has ignored Sinkhole and people. Erin, Brokivich getting involved. This made me curious. I wonder what Erin Brokivich is really all about these days. I'm wondering if she's, you know, on the side of the good guys. She certainly seemed to be when she was fighting against PG&E in the movie by the same name. Why are giant sinkholes appearing all over America? Is something happening to the Earth's crust? This article does not give an answer. It really just asks the question a little more succinctly. LA sinkhole is a salt dome collapse, and we see a diagram here having to do with oil production. One of the ideas in the article that was questioning why the sinkholes are appearing is that there are too many cracked and broken water pipes that are leaking water. The Clean Water Act that was instituted when President Kennedy was in office set very high standards for the safety of sewage pertaining to groundwater. There is tremendous leakage, and by tremendous I mean great, large, not good. It's horrible. There's a lot of leakage from cracked and broken and aging sewer pipes into the ground, and the sludge eventually finds its way back into groundwater. The man about whom this video news article is, the Reclamator solves the world's water problems. This video is from 2008. This technology has been around for a little while, but it's stymied because it means complete water independence. And this is really a way to follow the Clean Water Act, to get the groundwater clean again, to not have all this nasty sewage leakage. The reason it's opposed is because most municipalities make most of their money from water and sewage. So this makes everybody completely off the grid, independent, unlimited water, because you totally recycle all of your water. And I've met the gentleman who invented this system, and he's the real deal, and I believe this is the real deal. So that's the good news for the day, that there is technology out there who can be the answer to some of the problems, the issues, can be the solution to a lot of these issues that we're struggling with as people. She who will walk in the dark is appreciative of your company, because it's not much fun to be alone in the dark. But the dawn is coming. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Take care. Be bold, be strong, love one another, and insist on liberty.